Hello guys, my name is Anna and today we'll be talking about discipline, actually self-discipline and what it means to self-discipline ourselves, what it means to do so as a woman in the modern society, and how to take that approach, how to stick to our plans and our beliefs and our goals without being toxic towards ourselves. I'm going to be talking entirely about my personal experience because, I can only talk about things that I know, things that I've experienced myself. So if something that I say doesn't really resonate with you, that's totally fine. You can have a different approach to things and just take whatever you want from it and leave out the rest. But let's get on with it, right? So, what does it mean to discipline yourself in the modern world? I feel like recently it's become something that is very harsh. Like we're being really harsh towards ourselves because with social media and all of those bloggers and influencers, and not just them, but literally everybody, like our friends, our acquaintances, striving for something, achieving something, having something that we don't have, and we're constantly like feeling that lack of something. We feel like we need to push ourselves in every area of our lives, right? Whether it would be the social area or our career or whatever that is, our appearance, which also matters a lot, which I think can be put into the social area, but we're going to talk about that a little later. So we're being really harsh towards ourselves, and especially if we're talking about women, women now have taken so many different roles, right? Historically, we've had many different roles and responsibilities, as well as men did, but it was more regarding the household, it was more regarding the bearing of the children and so on. But now we're also career seekers. We're doing incredible things. We're getting incredible degrees, and that's a fascinating thing to think about. But what is also happening with all of this is that we constantly, again, seek for something better, seek for something more. And in doing so, sometimes we forget to acknowledge what we already have and give ourselves that compassion, that value, that love that we deserve. And speaking of my own experience, every goal that I would set for myself, every desire, every wish that I could fulfill myself, I would take very seriously and I would achieve at some point. And that was great, knowing that I could rely on myself for everything. That feels incredible, actually. But the thing is, while I was doing those things, I wasn't oftentimes doing them out of love for myself. For example, some time ago, I decided that I would do sports every single day. So I'd exercise intensely every single day. I would also eat pretty healthy. I would cut out sugar at all. So for 2 years, I ate no sugar, zero at all. No sweeteners as well, like artificial stuff, no. And I would live like that for 2 years, right? And I considered myself pretty cool because I could do those things, because I could discipline myself. So because if I said that I would do it, I would do it. I would stick to my word. I consider that to be pretty cool. I still do. However, the reasoning behind me doing all of those things was not because I wanted to feel lighter in my body, or I wanted to feel better, or I wanted to move through life a bit more easily and feel more happy and peaceful in my body. Those were not the reasonings why I would do it all initially. The main reason was that I wanted to be socially acceptable. I never was overweight. No, I never had that kind of problem, but I still thought that I had to do something in order to, look better, so that other people would accept me and like me. And so I would force myself into doing those things, and every time, like, I wanted to skip them, some of them, like exercising, for example, because I was crazy about it. No matter where I was, whether it was a birthday party, which my friend invited me to, or whether I was traveling to a different city or something, it didn't matter. I would still do the exercise. I would still watch my diet, and I would worry so much about it. Like, I would constantly think about it, that I had to do it, and what would happen if I didn't do it, and so on. And so all of this did not come from a place of love. It came from a place of lacking love, because I thought that doing those things would make me better, would make me more lovable. And this is something that a lot of people do nowadays with discipline, right? So whenever they want to skip something, whenever they want to go back to their old routine, they start shaming themselves, like I would do, and saying stuff like, inwardly saying stuff like, well, if you skip this now, you're gonna look more ugly, or like you're gonna, you're not gonna be accepted by others, you're not gonna get that dream job, or whatever it is that you're striving for. And we're motivating ourselves with the lackness of something, blaming ourselves, shaming ourselves into doing stuff. And then we call it discipline, and we call it healthy lifestyle, which I believe it is not one, because when you feel healthy, you feel harmonized, you feel in peace with yourself in many ways. Not in all ways, but in many ways. And that is what discipline is supposed to be about. And recently, I decided that I would go back to, I would still, after those 2 years, I would still exercise, but I wouldn't do it daily because I didn't see the results I was hoping for. Because again, I was pushing myself to get better and better results. And I didn't get what I wanted exactly, because my nervous system was a wreck. I was a wreck. I was so stressed out, and your body cannot give you what you want from the survival mode. It just doesn't work that way. And so basically I did not get the results I wanted, and so I stopped doing those things. And I would still do them occasionally, but it wasn't a constant. So I would start doing them again, then I would get overwhelmed and I would stop for some time, then I would start over again, and it wasn't consistent at all. And I was blaming myself for that. Meanwhile, I was pretty focused and pretty disciplined in other areas of my life, which we will talk about later. But the point is, recently, I decided that I wanted to, do those things again, consistently, but without forcing myself. Because this time, I thought that I wanted to have like different goals for myself. I wanted my main goal to be, again, feeling better in my body, having a deeper connection with my body, trusting my body more, and just having more energy in life, more energy to create, to exude. So I started doing not the same things that I was doing before, but somehow I started eating more healthy without forcing it. And somehow I found the sport that I really like now, which is running. And I don't push myself. Like I run for 2 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers for now, for example, which at some point earlier was kind of impossible for me, because cardio stuff are just really hard for me to do. But I do it because it makes me feel good. I love doing it. I feel lighter. I feel great. My endorphins are happy. And so I do it and I don't have to force myself to do it, it just comes naturally because I love the feeling. Because I found the sport that makes me feel good, honestly. Or sometimes I don't feel like running, I just want to take a very long walk. I do that. So I listen to my body and I ask it, what do you want right now, love? What would you like right now? And then I give it to myself because I know that I deserve those things. I know that they will make me feel good, and they do. And somehow, without any effort on my part at all, I was just reconnecting with my body. I was feeling much better and much more fulfilled and much more happy. And a few days ago, I decided to weight myself because I did not know what my current weight was, and I didn't really track it all that much. I mean, I think I did like weight myself like a month ago, but then I kind of forgot about it, and it was, yeah. And then I just decided to do it for fun, just to check. I didn't care about the number. But as I stood there and saw that I lost 5 kilograms, that was just a marvel to me because I didn't try to do anything. Like, I wasn't putting any extra effort on my part. I was just doing something that made me feel good, like, honestly. And I felt very surprised, obviously. And then I remembered how I also did something else. Well, I'm a self-taught when it comes to many things, English included, and I keep learning it every single day. However, I do believe that I reached a certain level in it of proficiency. And again, I was a self-taught and I did it so easily. Like, it came to me so easily and I enjoyed the process so much. I'm telling you, it was the one thing I was so much looking forward to every single day that I just couldn't wait to get into it. And somehow it just all of a sudden became a very important part in my life. And I couldn't say that I was learning it, or I was, as some people say, like memorizing it even, because for them it's hard to acquire it. It's just, they feel like they have to force themselves into it. They have to read like grammar books and stuff. I never did that, ever, right? I just naturally picked up on things as I was immersing myself in the culture, in the language. That a lot of people would ask me, like, can you recommend any books, or can I, like, what can I do? What kind of grammar books would you buy and stuff? And I would say, like, none. No, I would just immerse myself into the language itself, and that was it. It was easy. It was the easiest thing I've done. And I mean, I keep doing it every single day, but I don't feel like I'm putting any effort in it because it feels fun, right? So the same thing is with health, or with anything really that you do. I realized that the true way of disciplining ourselves is finding a way to make whatever we do fun for ourselves, right? Something that we will enjoy, something that will bring us so much happiness and so much fun, so much love, that we wouldn't even realize that it's a chore. It's a thing that we need to do in order to get something. And usually, in order to achieve that, the initial state, the initial goal that you have to take for yourself would have to do something with stuff that have not that many things to do with other people, but more to do with you and yourself. And so I thought about it earlier, about, my earlier experiences to discipline, my prior experiences, because at some point I realized that I was very happy with, you know, how my exercising would go, which again, I don't even want to call exercising. I feel like it's my meditation. Or my eating habits, my eating routines. When something would slip a little bit and I've realized that I'm kind of like slipping out of it, and sometimes I'm binge eating something, not a lot, but even a little bit, right? I would stop myself for a moment and I would ask myself, like, what's wrong? What's going on, honey? Why is this happening to you right now? And I realized that I was doing something that many people do, again, which is mixing two different goals at a time. So for example, your goal to, again, feel lighter in your body, which I'm talking about me again, my goal to feel lighter in my body and just feel more energy. And another goal to look good. Why? Because, you know, I was naturally, as I was doing those things, I was also naturally speaking to other different people who do something similar, you know, like leading a healthy lifestyle. And they would always talk about like looking better or losing weight. And it got into my head, or like looking a certain way, you know, it got into my head. And I started to focus more on that part than on the initial goal that I set for myself. And that was the reason why I started to slip out of my established routine. And so I realized that you just have to constantly like come back to yourself, to your true desire. What do you want? You know? So that's the thing. Always separating one desire from another and realizing what's your number one desire, right? What is the deepest desire like behind your more like a shallow desire, like the desire for others, and your deepest desire will always have to do something with you, not them. That's what I discovered. So that is something I wanted to address. And yeah, I found that the key is to be loving towards yourself at all times. And one more thing that I'm going to say here before I end this video, because it turned out to be pretty long, is that you can be disciplined in one area of your life, but not disciplined in another. That's totally fine. Why? It's a topic for another video, which I will probably film at some point, hopefully soon. But in very few words, I will say that you have only so much energy, and if it takes you a lot of energy to discipline yourself in this one area, right, then you may spend all of this energy in this area and leave out the other areas of your life. And so it's another topic. It's a thing I'm learning to navigate right now myself, like how to spend your energy resourcefully, like how to not like forget about your like other areas of your life, and how to harmonize yourself and your energy. So that's something I will be talking about later. But yeah, you just have to remember that. Don't think that you're not disciplined. There's definitely one aspect of your life in which you're pouring so much energy and in which you're totally disciplined and dedicated, and it can be something minor or something major. It doesn't matter. But don't ever blame yourself for anything, okay? Because it's not making anything better. Yeah. This is my experience. This is everything I wanted to share with you today. I hope some of you found this video useful. And if you want your 2026 to be the best year of your life, which I do too, or maybe not of your life, but at least the best year for you, just keep doing what you're doing. keep returning to yourself, keep loving yourself, and keep learning what it means to love yourself every single day. That's what I strive for. And yeah, this is it. Thank you guys for watching me. It was a pleasure on my part, for sure. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye, loves.